What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we got the post-game report to Michigan's brutal and quite frankly embarrassing loss to Illinois, as mistakes, turnovers once again cost Michigan this game on the road, and this team kind of looked like they got worse in this game. So we're gonna be talking about it. Also gonna be talking about how hot Sherrone Moore's seat is right now. So let's go ahead and talk about it. But first, I do want to take a trip back down memory lane, and let's cleanse the timeline a little bit here. Look back at all the good memories we had, back to back Big Ten champs, Rose Bowl champions, last year national championship, 15-0 national champions. And hey, I mean, everybody knew that we would probably take a step back this season. We lost a lot of players, lost a lot of coaches, but taking this far of a step back, I don't think many people expected this far of a step back from the defending national champions. And while, the first two losses, I was kind of, still hopeful this team would turn it around. Sherrone Moore, first season as head coach, he'll figure it out as the season goes on. This team will get better and better each week. But then this team goes out there, 2 weeks of practice, gets the bye week, and they look way worse than they did. I mean, they took 3 steps back in this game against Illinois, especially offensively, because I do think the defense, they actually played a pretty good game in this game. They really kept Michigan in it, and when you actually look at all the stats, Michigan outgained Illinois 322 total yards compared to Illinois' 267 total yards. Also had 208 passing yards, 114 rushing yards. Illinois had 80 passing yards, 187 rushing yards, which is pretty surprising actually, because coming into the game, Illinois, their passing attack was their strength. They kind of pass the ball usually to open the run game up. That's how their offense has kind of been this season. So Michigan also had 20 first downs compared to Illinois' 18. They were 5 for 14 on third down efficiency compared to Illinois' 3 of 11. Fourth down efficiency, Michigan 3 for 4, Illinois 1 for 2. Michigan had 3 punts, Illinois had 4. Michigan even won the time of possession battle, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the turnover battle, and Michigan lost as they had 3 turnovers compared to Illinois' 0. So at the end of the day, that's where the game was lost, the turnover battle. Illinois, this team, they just wanted this one more. Michigan also had a lot of penalties defensively, a lot of pass interferences, but then you look at the fake punt. You thought the defense got a great stop, and the fake punt comes, and it's kind of just been the story of this season. This team just so undisciplined. The coaching in the second half has been, quite frankly, atrocious thus far, and it showed up again in the second half at times. But I mean, at the end of the day, the turnovers, they cost Michigan this game. There were a lot of times offense was driving. Jack Tuttle early in the game picks up a first down on the ground, then he fumbles the ball. Donovan Edwards has a nice little run, fumbles the ball. And not only that, but then when Michigan picks up a miracle on a 4th and 18 play, and then they go right back to the passing game again, and Jack Tuttle throws an interception. So it's just mistake after mistake after mistake with this team, and that's not going to win you games. When you go into a game and you turn the ball over 3 times compared to the other opponent who plays a clean game and doesn't turn the ball over, your chances of winning the game are very slim, especially when you only score 7 points. So I do think this game against Illinois, it felt like kind of like a must win for Sherrone Moore. I said it, a lot this past week that, he needed to win this game to regain some trust in the fan base. But now, after this team looking the way they did, this team made no progress at all in this game. Nothing changed. Everything was the same. Mistakes, turnovers. And while I was, a little optimistic after a 4-2 start for this team, maybe, thinking they could turn it around, after this game, though, it's not looking good. And right now, I mean, yeah, Sherrone Moore's seat should be hot. He knows it too. He talked a lot post game. He said, it's my job that I need to fix this, and it's his job now, going forward to fix and build upon now the future of this program. Recruiting, it has been really good so far under Sherrone Moore. That is like the one good thing that has been good so far, but now 4-3 team isn't doing good right now. It's going to be up to him now to keep those commits, and obviously that's going to be a tough task, especially if you keep losing games. So here's what I'll say. I mean, Sherrone Moore, he knows that he's probably going to have to make some coaching staff changes. Kurt Campbell, the offensive coordinator, obviously not working out. He is just not the guy for that position. Wink Martindale, on the other hand, I'm willing to see how the rest of the season plays out because, again, the defense actually played a good game against Illinois. It was really rough against Washington, but let's be honest here. A lot of these games, the defense has kept them in these games. But, there are certain games like the game against Texas, Washington, where, the blitz rate was just way too high. And, well, the passing attack from both those teams kind of torched this defense. But the major concern right now is the offense, man. The quarterback play is atrocious right now. Jack Tuttle went 20 of 32 with 208 yards. One interception, also had a fumble, and he did miss a lot of throws. There were a lot of inaccurate throws in this game. So Sherrone Moore didn't leave out the option of moving to a fourth quarterback. We'll see what happens, potentially give the freshman Jaden Davis some playing time. Just give him some reps, even if it's a drive or two here moving forward. Just give him some experience for the future. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, with the season, how it's gone, playoffs out of the picture now. You should be able to get some of these young guys playing time and give them experience for the future. But going back to Sherrone Moore and my expectations moving forward here for the rest of the season against Michigan State next week, that's a must win. If Sherrone Moore doesn't win that game, this team most likely not going to be bowl eligible. And if that happens, I mean, this offseason, anything could happen. It could be a clean house, and Sherrone Moore could be gone after his first season, which I don't want to happen because I do think Sherrone Moore, he can get it together. I think he can fix this and build upon for the future. But right now, he's losing these games. The coaching has been terrible. It's not shown on the field, and if he continues to lose games this season, I mean, that seat is only going to get hotter. So what I'm looking for, you got to win next week against Michigan State. There's no doubt. If you lose that game, this fan base is going to go crazy, and a lot of people are going to be calling for his name. I mean, people are already calling for his name, but you also got to beat Northwestern. Those are the two wins that you must win on the rest of the schedule. The Indiana game, that's going to be a really tough game on the road, but I would say out of the Oregon, Indiana, Ohio State game, at least out of the Oregon, Ohio State game, one of those games you have to keep close and be able to win at the end. Show that this team still has fight, show your coaching ability to keep this team in big games like that and against better opponents. And I mean, the Indiana game, looking at the schedule, that might be another kind of must-win game for Sherrone Moore. If he gets that win, it'll help him out a lot. But right now, after that performance against Illinois, this team could very well go 6-6. And if that happens, who knows what will happen in the offseason. So luckily for Michigan, they're back home for the games against Michigan State and Oregon. They hit the road again against Indiana. They're home against Northwestern, and they hit the road at the end of the season against Ohio State. Now, Michigan's defense, they were without Will Johnson. He got hurt early in the game, never went back in, so that's definitely a concern moving forward. Miles Hitton was out on the offensive line. Jeffrey Percy took over at left tackle, and then Andrew Gentry took over at right tackle for Evan Link, and Greg Crippen was the starting center. Derek Moore seemed to be limited as well on the defensive side, so injuries still a problem for Michigan. Now, that's not an excuse, but I did want to talk about what the coaches, players said post-game as far as Sherrone Moore. He said, "I have extremely high expectations for this program. Going on year 7, I've seen where we've been, what we've done, and this is not indicative of who we are and what we should be, and it's my job to fix it, and we will." He said, we had a bye week. I feel disappointed in myself as the head coach that we didn't come out and execute at a better level. There are too many bits and pieces, not enough consistency, so I have to look at myself too. Jack Tuttle also called, him and the offense's performance embarrassing, terrible. So Colson Loveland, He said that right now it's, just start wrecking people's seasons. That's kind of the motivation going forward for this team. Focus on every game, win games. Loveland said that, they know they're letting a lot of people down, but we could either cower down, lose more games, or we could win out and show that, we had some fight in us. And then Josiah Stewart on Michigan State coming up, he said, our record doesn't matter. That's Michigan State. Really, any other game on the schedule, it doesn't matter who it is. We're going to go out there and effing win that game. So we'll see how it goes. This team, man, it is just... like I said, mistake after mistake after mistake, nothing has changed. This coaching staff, they have to take a long look in the mirror because, quite frankly, right now, like that game, watching that Michigan-Illinois game, really wasn't fun to watch. This team, this offense right now is not fun to watch at all. So it is, pretty bad, and they have to fix it really fast here down the stretch because it could get a lot worse. And like I said, if Sherrone Moore, this team doesn't beat Michigan State next week and they don't make a bowl game, who knows what'll happen in the offseason because everybody could be gone. You never know. This team has talent. This coaching staff has to do a much better job. So with that though, that's going to wrap up this video. Comment down below what you guys think. Subscribe for more if you're new around here. I greatly appreciate it. One thing I will say, Michigan basketball coming up, that's something to look forward to. That team's going to be really good. They actually play today as well at 5 p.m. today against Oakland on Big Ten Plus. It's an exhibition game. It'll be nice to see how that team looks. The team should be really good though this season. But other than that, that's going to wrap up this video, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.